Last player on the men's side to touch upon from press today. Very different experience, David. You and I were both in the room for this, and for me it was my moment of the day, the Dan Evans press conference. It was incredibly moving.
Yeah,
incredibly.
It was pretty run-of-the-mill press conference. He's got a good relationship with the media, as Dan Evans, particularly the British media, many of whom we know him, and he's very relaxed with them. And there was a moment where the Sun's Rob Moore walked in about 2 minutes late, and Dan just quietly looked at his watch and then looked at Rob and sort of, took the mick.
And then Rob made him cry later in the press conference.
And then Rob asked the kind of penultimate question in the press conference about, is it Wimbledon that has kind of kept you going in the last few months, knowing that, and now you've had a bit of form. And he started to talk about that, and within a few words his eyes were filling with tears. And he was clearly taken by surprise that he was getting emotional, and he says, I don't know why I'm so upset about this. I don't know why I'm getting so upset, but I think that it's just that I keep looking at my wife who's travelling with me, and I keep looking at my dad, and they're all trying to support me, and they're telling me you can still do it, and they believe in me, and I'm wondering whether they really do. It was kind of like that, because you can tell that he's had his own doubts, and I mean he's not been playing at a level that he's used to, and he says that just makes you think it's hard. It's hard to keep doing the training and keep and wondering whether you've still got it. And I think the last couple of weeks where he's actually had some wins and had some performances have made him realise that that it's still there, but it's kept him up at night. You can tell it's really worried him and made him feel, I think, insecure as a player, and sort of, he says, I'm not worried about retirement. It's not that. I think it's just facing up to kind of his tennis mortality.
Well, he said, didn't he? It's not retirement. I'm not afraid of retirement. He's afraid of this limbo zone of should I be retired? Should I be retiring?
Have I not got it anymore?
Have I not got it anymore? Is everybody around me, are they just telling me what I want to hear, and privately they're thinking, give it up, Dan. You don't have it anymore. And he's very aware of what people are sacrificing for him to continue to do this. I mean, his lip starts wobbling whenever he talks about his wife, doesn't it?
It's quite a thing to be in a room full of people like we were. It's a small room.
And it's a very intimate room too, isn't it?
It's 3 rows of chairs, maybe 20 chairs, and they're all filled. And you can suddenly hear a pin drop because a guy is crying in front of you who you weren't expecting that. And I think everybody feels for him a bit in that moment, and I thought he handled it really well. It was good.
He also was quite happy to talk about the fact that he knows the prize for winning round one is not only a bunch of ranking points that he desperately needs, and
I tiptoed into the question, Matt.
You did, David.
Have you seen your draw?
But you also know Dan Evans well enough to know that he knew.
I said some players, Dan, don't like to look at who their next round might be. He goes, I know. And I hadn't even finished the question yet. and I mean, he plays Jay Clark, and if he wins that, he's likely to be playing Novak Djokovic. And I mean, he's clearly pumped about the prospect, isn't he? It's having the chance to have a crack at Novak Djokovic, particularly after all the months of playing in goodness knows where and not playing anybody of that ilk.
He said it would be a brilliant ending to the grass court season, and then he corrected himself and he said, not that it would be an ending.
Yeah.
It was a real moment, a real poignant moment. He's one of those athletes that just makes you feel, Dan Evans. So it's going to be hard not to root for him, I think.